All right, everyone, welcome to our last session, our last panel session, session 2. This is DAP 42 of about 57 presentations that have been made today. That's a lot of action in the EOS community. Just one day, and we couldn't get everyone. There's a lot of people who also wanted to come in, so I'm sure any other conferences that come up, there'll be a lot of people who will be really interested. I'm really excited by this panel presentation because I have seen what this team has done, and it's really exciting. And I have interacted with the members of this team, and I know that they are interesting, passionate, and really amazing people who are out to help people build new, better lives in the new economy that is coming in. So I won't speak much. I'll let Dan come in, but we'll say thank you to MyWish, who sponsored the EOS Summit. MyWish is a platform for creating smart contracts, and if you're interested in testing out an idea, if you're interested in building, you can go right ahead, try out the smart contract templates that are there. If you want additional help and assistance from the team, Vladimir and their team will be ready to support any development work that you may need done, because they have a huge team who can help. All right, so without further ado, we'll move in and we'll have Dan. Welcome.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, I guess the light here is not good enough, but I guess we'll go with this. How's it going, everyone? Hey, Daniel, let's learn how to code big time. Well, this is exciting. Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited, Daniel, to see you again and everyone else. So I think I can talk a lot about the technical stuff all the time, but I really want to talk a bit about the non-technical side first, because I want to set the stage about what it is that we're trying to solve, what it is that we're trying to build, and then I can get as technical as anyone. First of all, everywhere we talk about Carmel, we always start with Chris. Right, so as you all know, we created this persona for the sort of type of people that we think we can help with Carmel. And we want to help people who will be very, very dramatically affected in the next decade, in the next decade and a half, 2 decades, and the early 2030s. That's where all the statistics are pointing. They'll be affected by the AI revolution. So there's a lot of analysts looking into this, but there's a lot of statistics being thrown on. Of course, when you look at predicting the future, you never know. But the numbers are about a third of jobs in developed countries, right? Like the first world countries in the States and the UK will be affected, and the numbers are much higher for countries under development, like the country that I represent, Romania. I'm in Canada, so I guess I represent 2 countries, but Romania will be very affected. I think, of course, a lot of the countries in Africa will be affected, and that's why we're excited. We're working with countries that will be affected. So our vision started in Romania. Go Carmel, Jerry. Our vision started with Romania because I was born in Romania, but I grew up in Canada, and the last 10 years I decided to move back to Romania and kind of be involved and just kind of do something more than just build technology and build businesses. So I spent the last 10 years just kind of looking at the unprivileged situations of people in countries that are not part of what I call networks of productivity and exchange, right? So I just spoke to another friend of mine who is building the next billion-dollar company. They raised like 200 million or whatever, and one of the 3 founders is also Romanian. I founded a company, pretty successful 10 years ago in Toronto. 2 of the 5 co-founders were Romanian, and I always ask myself, no, why is it that Romanians, at least in my I'm talking about Romania because I'm Romanian, so in my experience, but I think it can apply to a lot of people. Why is it that Romanians have to be successful in Canada, in Silicon Valley, in New York, and so forth, but not in their own home? And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's no really proper networks of productivity and change where people in underdeveloped countries can actually plug in and actually get paid and provide real global value. And I think that's the case, of course, in a lot of countries. My friend I just talked to is from Sri Lanka. They have issues there. Of course, we really love the work we're doing with the guys in Africa. So what do we want to do? What the vision was, can we use technology, and particularly the new fledgling, the new rising blockchain revolution, to build an economy where people all over the world, no matter where you are, no matter what situation you come from, what context, can we build a system where they can learn to leverage technology and use their creativity and their talents and their gifts and their particular sort of view on how that technology should change people's lives to build technology, create technology, and create value for all of us all over the world. So can we have, for example, someone in a first world country, let's say an entrepreneur who's running a business, can we have that person be serviced by a team made of a young girl in Nigeria, a young boy in Romania, and someone else is in Raqqa? Can we do that? And can we have that entrepreneur be super happy with the quality of services they get? So can we create something like that? Can we create an opportunity where that entrepreneur is happy with the service, is happy to pay for the service, but we can also make lives better for people in underprivileged situations and areas and villages and so forth. So this is what started Carmel, and it started as a dream to kind of change a lot of unprivileged sort of places in the world using technology. And this is it. I always want to start the Carmel story with that, because we want to make sure we always stay true to that mission. But to solve that, I feel that we have to solve three big problems. And the first problem really is how we build software. And the crazy irony, friends, is this. The software industry, the industry that's disrupting the world, we're disrupting the world with software in any industry, finances, health, whatever you want. And I'm not just talking blockchain, I'm talking just regular digital solutions, right? So there's this huge revolution sweeping the world, in digital transformation. And of course, AI and blockchain are kind of spearheading that revolution. But digital is just changing the world. And here's the crazy irony, guys. Who's changing digital? Who's changing digital? And does digital need to be changed? Well, the case we make is that the way we build solutions for all these industries, the way we build digital solutions, the way we build software is outdated. We are building software, guys, using agile methodologies, which were invented in the late 90s. Okay, so if you look at the Agile Manifesto in it was published 2001, that's 17 years ago. In 2018, we're building digital solutions to change the world using a 17-year-old model. So to me, that's ironic, because if you go to any other industry that we preach that we're going to bring disruption to, and we say, hey, in finances, in law, in healthcare, in whatever, if you guys have 5-year old processes, they're going to be disrupted by technology. And we ourselves in technology, we have 17-year-old processes that we use. So I think the first thing we need to figure out is how to improve that process, because the process was built, a lot of it was built in a world that was very different than the world we have today. So back in the day, you have these consultants getting in one room with one whiteboard, talking to each other. And one of the 4 important pillars of Agile is face-to-face conversations. Of course, we're using technology now, and we're saying, yes, we can do Agile on Slack and so forth. But I think Agile itself was not created for such a decentralized, remote workforce that we're seeing today in the 21st century. So anyways, there's a lot of issues with Agile, but we feel that the first thing that we would need to disrupt is the way software is built. So the methodology, we call this the methodology of innovation, right? So the way people use digital technologies to innovate has to change. So that's one thing that has to change. So it's a difficult problem. The second thing that has to change, we have to figure out a way to help people learn to build these things in a different way, right? So just like we can't use Agile all the time to create scalable innovation, because we use an old legacy system of innovating. Same thing happens with education. We can't just be using legacy computer science programs. I don't care if they're from MIT or from Harvard or from University of Toronto, where I went, which is a great program. They're just too slow. A lot of the stuff that's happening there is outdated by the time you finish your 4-year program, okay? And what happens when we send young people to these universities, we don't prepare them for the real world that's 4 or 5 years after they finish, right? So we're educating the next generation of developers using really outdated ways. And there's a lot of movement in this. We know it's outdated and we know it needs to change because there's a lot of move. We have things like Codecademy, and look at Pluralsight, $1 billion company trying to create education for developers. But the way they're doing it, they're using the old outdated model of a teacher just giving you a lecture and they're just putting video behind it. So instead of going to a big 200-300 room of people, right, a room at universities, now you just sit in front of your computer and you listen to a teacher preach at you. But it's the same thing. I can just pause it and forward it. That's all the innovation. So the second difficult problem, in addition to helping innovators innovate, we need to help people learn to become technology creators, to become real builders in a different way. So that's a second difficult problem. And I feel the third difficult problem is that even if we can update and improve the way we innovate, even if we can teach people fast, I feel we need technology for it, right? Like methodologies and processes are good, but a methodology and a process is not enough. We need technology. So when I started this concept and when we look at it, I realized that if these three come together into one unified platform, in one unified experience, in one unified marketplace that can bring different stakeholders at the table and provide a win-win-win-win-win situation, then I think we have something out of this world incredible. And guys, this is what Carmel is. We created an innovation process that we haven't talked about too much, but we will. It's called fluid innovation thinking, and there's a lot of thinking that went behind that process, and we can't wait to kind of unveil that. But the way we've built Carmel, it was using that process. So that's what we're proposing in terms of building software faster, better with a distributed workforce. It's based on a concept of storytelling. It's based on a concept of using more your fluid intelligence versus your crystalline intelligence, and it's based on a lot of proven concepts in neuroscience. So it's much better, and we proved it works because we've been using it for over a year in Carmel. Second thing, we invented this concept of education called tweak and learn. And why it's really special, it's because no one's currently making everyone's making a distinction between creating and learning, right? So everyone's making a distinction between the act of educating people and the act of getting those people to produce value. And what we have done, we've merged the two. So in the tweak and learn Carmel model, there's no such thing as learning versus producing. It's the same thing. When you actually use Carmel and you complete a technical challenge, which is a little puzzle, you complete that, at the same exact time you learning those skills, you've also produced value. It's groundbreaking. This little concept is groundbreaking because think of the other solutions. So the other solutions would be, let's say, on the productivity side, take Wix.com. You guys know about Wix.com, you know Squarespace, you know places that help you build apps, build software with a drag and drop, stuff like that, right? Like, think about that. They help people. You know, I looked at Wix the other week. I think they have like 120 something million users. It's insane. So what do they give you? They give you the productivity side. So an entrepreneur who was running a little restaurant doesn't have to hire a developer to build their site and pay them $20,000. They can just pay $15 a month at Wix, drag and drop a few things, pick a template, put in some text, put in some images, click a button, and you're done. Same thing with Shopify. Great successful stories, right? And that works, but it's just solving that productivity side. It helps people be productive without coding. So let's call it zero coding, okay? That's great, but it doesn't solve the problem that Carmel sets out to solve, which is getting Chris a job, getting Chris skills to thrive in the digital economy. That is not going to help the kids from Romania. That's not going to help the kids from Africa or Sri Lanka or whatever. It won't. because the entrepreneur solves that problem. But here's the thing. He always wants the customization. He always wants a new page, another thing, and they always get stuck. I know so many people who started with Wix and they get stuck because then they can't customize. So then they finally go to an outsourcing shop, either in Romania, Ukraine, China, or India, to actually do it better, right? So it solves half of the problem. Now look at situations like Udemy, Pluralsight, Lynda, that was acquired by LinkedIn. They give you a lot of video-based information, a lot of courses, a lot of tutorials, which are great. They solve that. But look at Codecademy. You go there and type some stuff, and there's so much stuff in terms of variables, constants, if statement, loops, and classes, and objects, and all that theory. And you get people who go through that, they stick it through even boot camps. You pay $20,000 for a boot camp, and at the end of it, what do you know? Well, you know a bunch of stuff you've memorized. You know ifs, you know conditional statement, you know some of the theory. But here's the thing. That is not going to get you to produce real customer value for that restaurant entrepreneur. It won't. You got to get out of that editor online in Codecademy. You have to stop that Pluralsight video. You have to pause that Lynda video, and then you have to go into an IDE. You have to download Atom or Visual Studio or IntelliJ or whatever it is. You have to get your web app going if you're in the JavaScript world, at least, which is, I guess, the most prevalent right now, where you have to download whatever backend for your Java apps, and it's not real world. It just isn't. And if you look at the way programmers learn today, they learn in a different model. They don't go theory first. They don't do all those sort of lessons and lectures. They code. They have a problem. They look at the problem solution on Stack Overflow or ask one of their friends. It's very peer-to-peer. It's very problem-solving oriented, micro-learning. I need to figure out how to implement this form right now. I need to implement this button. I need to make a color change. I need to figure out a font. It's really, really based, and that's how they learn. But the way we teach people to learn before they get programmers is very different. So tweak and learn, which is a coin we've termed, is this. You start with a template, kind of like Wix, the team, we're putting back, Alex, the team on the website soon. So we kind of took it down for now, but it was there. We're going to put it back soon. So we're basically looking at giving people a bunch of templates to start with, kind of like Wix, but then complementing that with challenges, micro challenges, where it says, okay, start with this template, but here's a challenge: change the text, change the subtitle, change the image, change whatever, right? And that we call that tweak and learn. And the third thing that has to happen that I think we've done a great job with, and now it's time to kind of like talk more about, is our technology. We've been working on technology for about 3 years. We even have a cute name for it. It's called Chunky, right? So this is a platform that it's a low-code platform. It's totally open source. By the way, the entire product is open source, MIT. We don't think that in the future people should make money from the code itself, but from what the code does. So we're giving all the code for free, and everything is going to be given for free, because I don't think that's how we need to protect ourselves as software companies in the future. Go ahead and copy it. It's not the way we want to actually create value. It's the economy, it's the system, it's the community that I think is going to bring value in Carmel. So the third piece that we're solving is the technology. So Chunky is pretty crazy. It's an incredible full stack low-code development platform that allows you to build iPhone apps, Android apps, serverless backends. It allows you to build, of course, websites. We can also build desktop apps. As a matter of fact, our entire product, desktop, backend, web, everything, and the upcoming mobile app is built with our platform. So we're building our platform with our platform, and we open source it, so you can check it out. So we're also adding bots. We're going to add bots so you can actually build your bots. And of course, blockchain. So you'll be able to build blockchain apps with our technology as well. And it's all open source. So we think that we actually are solving the three big problems to get us there: the technology with Chunky, the process with Tweak and Learn, and even the methodology with fluid innovation thinking. So this is what Carmel is all about. I'll stop right now because I think you guys are freaking out how much I speak. I know the Carmel team is all like joining my kids and my wife in a crazy movement to get me to stop talking. So I'll just shut up right now. If you guys have questions, I'll get into as much technical details or whatever you want. But that's Carmel, guys. We're creating a net productivity exchange to give people all over the world a chance to help people innovate. That's what we're doing.
All right. That was such an amazing presentation. In fact, there's a guy or girl called Jimmy, and they say that this man could set ice on fire with his speech. Oh man,
Yeah.
people are so excited here. Yeah, Camel is an important project, no kidding. If the project is successful in creating networks of value that are burgeoning, that the burgeoning youthful population in developing countries can plug into using their skills,
Yes.
it will release massive value. If we get
That's
rid of
it. That's
gadgets,
exactly it. That's exactly it, my friends. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Oh, wow.
And we have interesting plans we want to unveil. I don't know if we should unveil them here. If I get 2 thumbs up from Andre, I'll unveil it here. But we have some interesting plans to advance that very soon, and I can't wait to share with all of you.
Wow.
Yeah, but
That's
let's just
also
put it this
exciting.
way. Let's just put it this way. We want to make sure that as we build Carmel, we share the success. So I am tired of startups that go and become unicorns, and then they just sort of donate $50 here and there to an orphanage. It just makes me sick. So what do we want to do? So thumbs up from Andre. Okay, fine. So check it out. We want to create a model from the get-go. We want to build it in our economy and in our business model. And we want to take 10% of every single thing that we sell. So by the way, we're creating a hybrid model where we, in addition to just tokens, we actually sell stuff, right? So templates, chunks, pieces of code, websites, iPhone apps, bots, whatever people create on our platform, they can actually create those challenges, whatever. They make money from it, right? So developers, creators can actually get a percentage from that. So what happens, we want to take up 10% of everything that's sold on our platform, on our marketplace, and we want to put it aside. And what we're going to do, we just created this this platform, and Toju Kaka is part of it, so he knows it, but you should be part of it as well. We want to create a campaign called Plant a Lab, right? So I want us to find volunteers in impoverished parts, and I'm going to be biased on this. We want to start with Romania. I want to see one village in Romania implement this first, but Toju Kaka is there, so definitely going to do it in Nigeria, I think. And I just talked to my friend in Sri Lanka, who's already kind of doing that. He's teaching kids, his friend is teaching kids to code, and he's donating there. So I'm like, well, donate to Carmel, you know? So we want to take a few places, and we're going to say 10% of whatever we sell, you who buy credits in Carmel, because we're going to have this concept of credits in addition to tokens, where you can buy like $500 worth of credits, and that, you know, you can actually spend it on templates, chunks, whatever. And it's like having someone do $500 worth of work for you on the platform, right? So you buy credits, but you can buy credits up front, and 10% of that, real cash, not just tokens, real fiat. We're going to take it and implement Carmel computer labs in these in these areas. And we want to figure out a way that we can, hopefully, the more successful we are, the more we're going to keep investing in our labs, right? So if this works, then we want to start implementing places. And imagine the day when some kid in one of those labs is actually going to create real value, not just learn, but actually produce money through that lab, through the Carmel network, and actually implement the site for the guy in New York wanting just a pizza shop website. And that kid goes with his first dollar earned home and say, I just brought $1 in this village through Carmel. How exciting would that be? And that's exactly the direction we want to take with this Plant a Lab. So I just think that's exciting, because the more successful we are, the more labs we can plant, right? And the beautiful thing is that those people can plug in back into the network, right? So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
Toju is the man. Daniel's the man too. Come on.
You are the man. All these people are the men. And for those who are, and for those ones who are ladies, they are the ladies too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm picking up a comment from Tanish, and he says that education nowadays doesn't guarantee skills. Majority of the developing countries sell education on the basis of job placements. But what they don't focus on is skill development. Examination does not check skills, job and practice does.
Okay, can I go on like a 2-3 minute rant on this? Yeah.
Okay,
Can
sure
I do
thing.
that? Okay, so guys, let me finish. Let me talk about that for a second. I know exactly what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. Let me tell you this. Most of education caters to one part of the brain. So in the 1960s, neuroscientists have looked at the way intelligence works, right? So the intelligence, the way it works, they talk about it, and now it's common language in neuroscience. It's split in two parts: crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence. Okay, so crystallized intelligence is the part, it's all over the brain, so you can just say it's one part, but it's mostly the cerebrum, right, and the prefrontal cortex. And fluid intelligence is mostly in the cerebellum, right? So the crazy part is that in the cerebellum, we have more than half of the neurons, which is crazy stuff. But most of the education is based on crystallized intelligence. What does that mean? Crystallized intelligence is the intelligence that allows you to make decisions based on acquired knowledge and experience. Meaning, if you learn the capital of Europe, then I've asked you, what's the capital of France? You say Paris, it's because you memorized it. So crystallize is taking information, crystallize it in your brain, and then you can regurgitate it. That's why standardized testing, like SATs, like multiple questions, like find X. What is the solution to this problem? There's only one solution. Just find it and say it, work, right? Because if you find the solution, you get 100%. If you don't, you get 0. Boom. The problem with that is that most of the world requires you after schooling to use your fluid intelligence. Fluid intelligence is the brain's ability to make decisions without prior knowledge. Imagine that. Meaning you're in a new country and you have to find your way around to the nearest subway station. You've never been there. You don't speak the language. You've never been in that situation. How do you do it? If you're a crystallized type person, you're lost. You sweat, your heart beats like, I've never been here. What do I do? If you're a person that's in different situations in life, you flex your fluid intelligence, it's like, I don't know, I'll just make it happen. Let's see what happens, right? So in entrepreneurship, in jobs, in a new digital economy where we don't know what's going to happen next, you need fluid, intelligence-based education. That is what Carmel with Tweak and Learn gives you. Tweak and Learn, you don't actually have to memorize, this and that and it's and just go in there, tweak, play around with it, and you'll be in that situation, in a brand new situation. You don't need to have previous knowledge. Just take the challenge, do your best. If you fail, hopefully we're going to build this chunky AI to keep guiding you and guiding you and guide you. That's the difference. And that is what builds skills versus just building memory, right? So that's what's so special about that. The Carmel way, the Tweak and Learn, builds your fluid intelligence. And we know this is exactly what employers are looking for, because I've been an employer for many years, and that's what I've been looking for when I hired developers. So that I just want to go on that rant of crystallized versus fluid intelligence. And right now, to my knowledge, not a lot of people are doing this. I don't think anyone's doing this. So that's why blockchain or no blockchain, that's why I think Carmel is very unique, in a very unique position.
Wow, that's just something, because you've actually explained a lot of things that all of us notice, but then we do not have the words to describe.
There's neuroscience behind it. Yeah.
When you mentioned that entrepreneurs use a version of Tweak and Learn just to try and see if the business they're doing works, and if it fails, that's fine, they'll start again.
Yep, absolutely.
That means a lot of success.
Yeah.
I think I love that.
And that's why a lot of people who do great in school and they get 10 out of 10 and they get great marks, you put them in a great, in an unknown situation as an entrepreneur, and they can't do it. You see a lot of people will say, I don't want to hire Harvard grads. They went to MBA schools, they know everything, but when you put them in a new situation, they can't adapt. That's why this is exciting for us immigrant kids who come from tough backgrounds, because this is a new world that is finally starved for our skills. Right? If you're a person who does so well in school, you're a great person and memorizing. This is not a world that's going to require your skills anymore. This is a world that requires street smarts, that requires quick adapting to new unknown situation, right? That's the new world. And that's why I think maybe in a crazy event of turns, undeveloped countries might actually have an edge over highly educated countries. Because I'll tell you, man, those poor countries, they are very creative at staying alive.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I see people in poor countries in like Romania and villages, their creativity is incredible. Like, how did you come up with that? If we can harness that and build real digital value for people who are willing to pay money in developed countries, boom.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Wow, I've had so much fun on this session. I don't know if anyone has questions or people are just enjoying. Oh yeah, Tanish says you check Charles Hoskinson's if anyone here doesn't agree with that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Daniel Keys says that was a great talk and he's excited. What a global army of skilled entrepreneurs you'll unleash on the world. I think you're an inspirational force, Dan. And
That's it.
And that's why this project will be very successful.
That's it. And I love that you said not just developers. I love that you said skilled entrepreneurs. That's brilliant, bro, because that's exactly the way we see it. You know, there's this concept of a gig economy developing.
Yes.
Not just 9-to-5 jobs. We don't want to get our people 9-to-5 jobs. No, it's a gig economy. So our people, we're calling them builders, not just developers, builders. You're going to have skills to build. So maybe you can actually build businesses, not just websites and apps, right? Like maybe I would love the day someone gets an idea for an app from this site, from this impoverished, undeveloped countries, and say, man, I just have this idea. I just never think it would work. Well, just build it. Put a few challenges up, build a quest for it on Carmel, and maybe someone can join from like Sri Lanka or Russia or whatever, and you guys could build the next WhatsApp or whatever, right? That's what Carmel can do, not just a 9-to-5 job kind of system, more like a gig economy that connects people with ideas. I swear, I just want to go to bed and wake up in 2 years and see where this is going to be. I'm so excited about what, I'm so excited about seeing what we can build.
Oh, wow. That's such an amazing session. Even I don't have any more questions for you. And I'm seeing on the side chats, people do not have a lot of questions. It's now 10 p.m. We were supposed to go on to a small break up until 10:20 when Raman will take over for session 3. So this has been session 2 and it has been amazing. Yeah, everyone loves your passion, Dan. You just
wait. Did you just say we have 20 minutes for me to keep on going? Is that what?
I was warned about.
I can ask myself questions, Daniel, and I can answer them if necessary.
Okay, I'll probably give you an opportunity to ask yourself one.
No, I'm just joking. No, but yeah, I mean, if you guys love the story, then we need you, right? Because this is a community, and we have all these opportunities right now to raise venture capital money. Yeah. And I moved back to Canada 3 months ago to look for opportunities to grow this company, but. And I'm very open and very vulnerable about everything we do. So there's not a lot of mystery here. We're looking for ways to fund this company. But one of my dream is not to actually put a bunch of tokens and equity in the hands of just a few people who just want to service big companies. I want to make sure we always stay true to the dream. So if you guys are interested, definitely invest in this company. Invest, because if we're successful, and our token is worth something, we're all going to be successful. We already have about 30,000 or so people that own our token. So we can launch on an exchange now, and we can start having people trade it. We could have done this 6 months ago, but we really want to make sure we have something valuable, and we're going through the beta. People are loving the beta. We're going to make it even better. Guys, we have a product. We have technology. We have a process. We have a team. We have amazing people, guys, right now that work for us for free. So my dream is to raise money to pay them so they don't actually run away and they have to just get contracts. We have amazing people. Oh, you know what? Andre, can you put the EOS preview website that our guys have built for them? I guess we can show it because it's still in preview and it's live. So just to show what people can build with Carmel, just a little bit of a preview. We had our interns, people who are just learning to code, mentored by our mentors, use our technology to build the official websites for EOS Nation. And I think they just have to finish a bit of the blog integration and the newsletter integration, and the website is pretty much done. I guess it's done. Yeah, there you go. So if you guys click on that, that's something done through our website. So we can build anything. So we have these great people that we want to hire, but I want to raise some money. So if you really believe in this, talk to me, talk to Andre, and basically just invest in this company. And then we can be at a place where we, as a community, say, okay, it's enough already. Let's list the token and let's trade it. But before we list it, we wanna distribute a few more. So if you believe, talk to me or Andre and get invested in this because we need you. I rather you own a piece of it than some big VCs who are just after money. So if you believe in what I said, just join.
Wow. Yeah, I was looking at the EOS Nation site loading up. Probably, I don't know if I'll get a chance to do a screen share just to show the audience what's going on.
Can I show you some? Can I tell you something crazy about that site? Right. So,
wow. This is
so
cool.
listen. So let me tell you something exciting about that site.
Yes.
This is just a little example of what we can do. And by the way, the Carmel.io website is built with our platform, but I said that already. We can build templates like that. Our developers can build templates like that. People in poverty, these are people from Romania who build this, all right? Some of them are actually like 40-something-year-old guys who've never coded before, okay? If we put this up on our marketplace, templates like that, and not just the whole website, but the testimonial chunk, whatever, these are all chunks, right? If someone in another part of the world wants that and they pay for it, the people in Romania who built this site and these chunks can make money. How beautiful is that? We're already going in that direction, and we wanted to take, one example.
Share my screen while you talk about it. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, this is an example of what this is happening. It's not just we're not just a blockchain startup with a white paper that we're thinking of raising $30 million and maybe doing something in 2 years. We already have people using it today, building real value, right? Yes. So if the EOS Nation people are happy, if they give us 2 thumbs up and say, hey, I'm okay with the site, I like it, I think it's a bit better than the last one, that means we essentially got people with low coding skills.
Yes.
Mentored by a few people to create real value.
A real customer.
This is crazy. Because if we scale this, there's no stopping, right?
Oh, there's no stopping.
There's no stopping of people who want this, right? Everyone needs a website, everyone needs an app, everyone needs an API, and there's no stopping because there's so many people who want to provide that.
Very true.
So imagine 3,000 EOS Nation website. Imagine 100,000 of those in a few years, right? That's what this can create. So again, the more this grows, obviously the more wins. So if you guys want to support this, definitely get involved and talk to me or Andre and get some tokens.
All right. Thank you very much. I think the community has heard, and we'll take the message out into the larger parts of our communities that were not able to join us here.
Thank you so much for what you're doing, Daniel. This is very useful. This is incredible. So congrats for putting everyone together. This is incredible, like 50-something presentation. That's wow.
Thank you. There's a larger team behind it. There's a gentleman called Jerry from EOS SG. There's
awesome. Shout out to Jerry as well.
Individuals from EOS Nation, Yves, Daniel, and even the people who have joined us today on chat. We even have Gravity. We had MyWish who sponsored this.
Amazing.
Summit. We have a lot of support and all the 57 projects that came and everyone. I have here about 300 people who have been just coming in and out of the different sessions. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is so great, man. We're a community. We're a
Oh,
community with people sharing values. This is exciting, and I think in 10 years from now, we're all going to look back like I look back 20, maybe 15, 10 years ago at the beginning of the mobile revolution. You just had to be there at the beginning to see it unfold. So we're here together seeing this unfold. It's very exciting. So good stuff, man. Congrats to everyone else who presented, and I just can't wait to see us succeed somehow. If we can come up with the models, like I was mentioning, if we can each come up with models where if one of us succeeds, somehow we all succeed, then it's a win-win for everyone, right?
all right. Yeah. I agree. And this was an amazing presentation. I think everyone here agrees. I think there was one question. Do you have a Telegram channel? This one came in from Jimby.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Let's go look at
Andre has already answered.
He answered. Okay, great.
Yes. Let me just paste it out in the public.
And if you want to try out the beta, go to the beta channel. It's just go to carmel.io/beta, and there's a link to the Telegram channel just for that.
Okay. Any exciting updates people should look out for? Any potential points of participation that people in the community can look out for?
Yeah. So basically, we're creating this group called Carmel Angels, where anyone who wants to buy some credits that they'll later use in the product. So this is different from tokens, just actually paying credits. So we're putting this on a website soon. You can buy credits with your, just like on any market, with your credit card, and you'll be able to use these credits to purchase services and digital goods on the site, like this website, right? And the idea is everyone who buys credits, we want them to join a Carmel Angels group because they'll be able to choose 10% of their proceeds to where it goes in the world, like where do we want to help, right? So if you buy $100 worth of credits, we're going to give $10 to a place of your choosing in the world to bootstrap that Plant the Lab. So the main announcement is that we're going to launch this, I hope in a couple of weeks before the end of the year, so people can start going to the site. And in addition to tokens, actually buying real credits on the site. And therefore generating real revenue for the company, but also supporting the Plant the Lab campaign. So that's coming soon. So I guess this is the first time we're officially announcing this on here. But I guess a good place to announce it. So look out for that. If you guys want to join, we already have a little group that's starting with people who just really want to buy credits when they're out. So when they're out, it would be awesome to have a few people who are willing to do that. And we're already talking to people about choosing the first locations for the labs. So that's the biggest announcement. Become an EOS, become a Carmel Angel. That's the big announcement. If you want to pledge buying some credits, and then use those credits to build your next website, app, or whatever. So it's not like you buy credits and you sit on them like tokens. No, you get to use them very soon.
Well, that's very exciting. I'm sure a lot of people will be excited in the community once this news gets out to them. You have our support, and we'll continue working with you to make sure that this dream comes alive.
Thanks so much, Daniel. Really appreciate that.
It's a big win. Yeah.
It means a lot to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming in. Thank you very much to our audience of the entire session 2. That was about 18 presentations that were done in the session 2, and another very many more that were done in the first session. Thanks to our hosts earlier for the session 1, Wanyun and Asheoro, and to Roman, who's coming in next. I wish him all the very best with the dApps that will be presenting and the projects that will be coming on. Wherever you are in the world, good night or good day or good morning, whichever works. Thank you for being with us at the EOS Summit. We look forward to connecting later in the community groups. All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.
See you in the next session. Roman will be taking over from here.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.